Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Skull Survivor devlog. Today we want to add a new skill, something new for the weapon to be able to do, and we're gonna take a look at that. So I've been doing kind of these upgrade cards, and so I guess the next ability I want to do is this idea of um, an ignited blade that then causes enemies to have a chance to ignite. And the more you invest skill points, the greater the chance that those enemies will ignite with some level of damage over time, and maybe increase the damage over time as we go. So yeah, let's get started. I think the first thing we want to do is maybe create an item for this. And so maybe we can say dealing additional fire damage over time the enemy is hit. Blazing Fury skill. So I'm using ChatGPT here to generate a stable diffusion prompt. And then that stable diffusion prompt will then be used to produce some artwork to use on the thing here. So pulling up stable diffusion now, enter the prompt. Haven't really read it. We're gonna make maybe 8 of these and then come back to it. So while that's cooking, and there'll be quite a bit, we will go ahead and maybe create the scriptable objects for this ability. So I think the first bit is we're going to go grab Blazing Fury here. Just rename this skill. And we're going to just drop the name and description for the card. We will maybe create a copy of this and then say Blazing Fury upgrade event. And this is just a game event to whenever it fires, it will notify all the objects that it's connected to. And we're going to just duplicate this Blazing Fury. And we'll paste over that eventually, but we want that to be inside of the skill here. So Blazing Fury skill should have Blazing Fury image, should have Blazing Fury upgrade event, and the number of levels. All right, so this will make the card show up on the list, and we'll see. So we got a couple more minutes here. And we're going to go ahead and maybe we're going to drop that into the players options list so that it can be an upgrade on the skills list here. And so here are the different skills. This is just kind of like a little database for all the different things that get added to the game. This will add it to all the UI and all the menus and everything. So then all right, so here we go. We got some cool looking stuff. It's not really what I want. That's kind of cool. It's because it's kind of all over the place. We'll use that for now. I might change it later, but I'm not too worried about it at the moment. Save, okay. And then, so now when we go Blazing Fury, you can see it there. Go Blazing Fury, you can see it there. So, oh, you can't see it. It looks pretty good. All right, so now I think we're gonna just jump over to so there's some particle effects made by Crypto Effects that I really like. And so this is from the Realistic Effects Pack 4. And then in here we have these like fire skin emitters. I'm not really going to use it because they're very expensive to run, but I will just copy the fire skin emitter. And let's throw it onto our weapon here. And we're going to do some, rate over time or rate over distance, somewhere between like 1 and 3. And then I think we're going to want to move it. Well, here, let's see here. I'll back up here. So the blade itself is there and the fire skin is there. So we're going to reset this. We're going to look at the blade and then we're going to go out this way. So this should cause the blade to be on fire and we'll take a look. So then we just need to turn off and on the particles and then deal with that. So that fire looks pretty good. I don't know how we're going to have it turn on and off, but these guys should all light on fire when we're using it. And let's see. So that's what Blazing Fury looks like in the menu itself. It kind of got funky there with the resizing of the screen, but it looks pretty good. So yeah, Blazing Fury, the weapon ignites in flames, dealing additional fire damage over time to any of the enemies it hits. So you can upgrade. So obviously that doesn't do anything yet. So we're going to have to fix this. And I need to move my Unity around because of the weirdness that was. These particles they are looping. But I don't want to play them on awake. And we're going to start and stop them from within a script. So we're going to say, so this is, we're going to be turning it off. We're going to be turning it on when there's an added value. So we need like kind of the game event to give that. And then we're going to say, here is a script for context. Create a new mono behavior that starts a particle system when we need it also to have skill data. Let's create a new mono behavior that starts a particle system when the game event fires. Behavior. Then checks for collisions and has a chance to light an enemy on fire based on a random probability of 20%. So we'll see what that looks like. Yeah, so the ignite probability there. Okay, check for fire collision, overlap sphere. Let's see. That's just assuming a one-time effect. Let's assume there is a collider instead. Actually, is it a collider or a trigger? So we're gonna jump in here and look at this guy. So that's a collider. So let's assume that there's a collider instead, and the fire is started on collision. So this way it won't use an overlap sphere to do that work. Yep. Start fire. Oh yeah, okay, so it's going to, yeah, every time you level it up, it'll just start the fire. If we're on collision enter and it's an enemy, then we're gonna just check a random value as less than the ignite probability, and then we're gonna say get the enemy and then ignite the enemy, and then we're gonna have to do some corresponding stuff for igniting the enemy. That looks pretty good. We probably need some unit tests for it, so let's see. Player start, SCR health. I think weapons hit enemies. Let's see. Let's use the following testing style to write a test for this behavior. Yeah, so it is kind of writing those things. Enemy is ignited. There's a 23, so it could be specific value. Random. We can. Sort of true. It was ignited or it was not ignited. Yeah, interesting. All right, that's pretty funny. It doesn't really want to try that stuff, but okay. So we're gonna say, yeah, new file, blazing fury, uh, weapon, blazing fury ability. Yes. And we're just gonna add tests to the end of that. We need not really the fire path. So this is gonna be weapon path and then enemy path. And we're gonna go get those values from the code real fast. And then of course these things won't exist yet. Does it even, oh yeah, because now it's actually in there. Weapons hit enemies, so we want the enemy health, enemy health, enemy health, blah blah blah, fire ability. So this is gonna be maybe the blazing fury skill or something. Blazing fury skill tests, because we call it skill in here. And then blazing fury skill. And then enemy path, weapon path. Grab the blazing fury skill. Yeah. Blazing fury. Fury skill. Yeah, that's awful. Okay. So we're gonna go back in here, have it rebuild. Go back in here, take a look at all of this stuff. Doesn't like any of it. Add some of that stuff. We know enemy health does not have a way to ignite, and the enemy needs to catch fire and then start dealing damage over time. So there's probably a corresponding thing that we need, which is not really enemy health. It would be like enemy health, uh, flame on fire. So yeah, we're gonna tell it to light it on fire. The Blazing Fury skill will be inside of the weapon prefab. And Collider cannot be assigned to, it's only read only on collision enter. So we're gonna have to figure this out. And like initializing a collision for the test. So, and then finally, we'd want to maybe set our random values in here as well. So maybe in here, testable random. Oh, we don't have a testable random yet. Okay, so we're gonna need to make a testable random. And then we're gonna do range func equals 1, 1. Something like that. 1f. 0.75f. So let's see, 20%. So let's do like 0.19f. So that should then say that the enemy was ignited. And then we can create some tests afterward to add to that. Yeah, so let's grab this testable random. All right, so testable time, we're basically going to make a duplicate of this. Can I control D this? No. All right, we're going to say testable random. And we just want this exact same pattern here. Whoops. So public static float. No, we want like public static not a func, it's just going to be public float range min float max. And we're going to call the range func. And then this guy is going to say random.range, not system. Unity engine range.range. And, oh. Yeah. Y. And it's going to be float, comma, float, comma, float. And then x, comma, y. And then we're going to call the range func, return it. And this way we can test random numbers or random probabilities without, having them affect our tests or whatever. So we have testable random, so we can just drop in the range func and we'll just say x comma y, and we're not going to use them. Testable random, it's not there yet because we got to build, clear, grab this. All right, so testable random. Fix this guy. Range cannot be declared, and public static range, and then we're gonna say cannot be used like a method. That's because this guy needs to be using system.func. All right. And now we got a whole bunch of problems here. Okay, so our range func. Yeah, okay. All right, so the Blazing Fury skill will be inside the weapon, and we need to go grab the weapon. The fire skin is on. Here's the player weapon. Here's the blade. We probably want it to be like a blade, but weapon hits enemies. It's just going to live right next to that. So hits enemies. Then we can just say Blazing Fury skill. Drop this into that Blazing Fury skill. Go back over here, see what it's complaining about. Blazing Fury. And then we gotta go to enemy health, and then we're basically gonna do the same thing. Although this is gonna just be a mono behavior. And then we're gonna say, bam. I'm gonna move this into its own class. Create some of the scaffolding for all this. And we'll have more ChatGPT generating stuff. Enemy health on fire. Should be good. We're gonna just say, give it an isIgnited method. Ooh. How to instantiate a collider from code is read only. Well, we don't have an on collision enter even yet, so Blazing Fury skill. On collision enter. Yeah, sure, why not? This public collision.other. And then let's see. The collider is read only. Let's see if we give you. Instead, we gotta mock the collision. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that that works. Let's see. Okay, new collider. Oh, no, not collider. Collision. C dot. Collider we hit. Involves transform. Rigid body. Contacts. Contact count. Collider. Let's see what we did in the weapon hits enemies tests. So rigid body on trigger enter. Looks like we never tested the collision. Collision.transform.get component in parent. That's fascinating. So, I mean, technically this code should still work. Let's see here. So we're going to just go in here. We're not worried about these two, but enemy health, collider, collision. All right, so these tests should be basically the same. So we're just going to say rigid body. All right, so enemy target dot get collider. On trigger enter, and then we're gonna say enemy target dot collider. Make that an enemy target collider. And is ignited bool. Earn false. Fake it until you make it on the unit testing side, and then we'll get to some more stuff here. Let's see. So we have a failing test. Yes. All right. So we have this weapon blazing fury ability tests, and I didn't want it to be named that. Skill tests. All right. So there's skill data. Okay. So now the main problem is that the pathing on this is not working. So I'm going to say copy path. That's the player weapon path. We're gonna have to instantiate it and then get a component in children. And then the enemy path, which we can just use the swordsman again. Gonna be important there. Okay. So now it's gonna be a matter of grabbing the right thing. So get component in children. So we instantiated it. And we go get the Blazing Fury skill. Then we prove that the particle system was turned on. We want that too, huh? Oops. Blazing Fury. So inspector. Might run out of time here for this, but okay, so Blazing Fury skill, that's on there. So now we won't die to that. Run that. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at this guy. So this is the object you want to instantiate is null. Open that error line. And that's because enemy health on fire. So I need to go to the skeleton swordsman, and actually, in fact, all the enemies. Underscore Swordsman prefab. And on the skeleton swordsman. Oh, this is the wrong prefab. That just put me inside of my bitgem stuff. So enemies, skeletons, skeleton swordsman. So we got the enemy health. I gotta sort this too. Enemy health on fire. Let's see here. Put this next to enemy health. Right here. Back forth. All right. Test runner, run the tests. Oh. Missing reference to the object exp. Whoa. I think something just got totally hosed. Awesome. Oh, that's super not helpful. Okay, let's see here. So we got this thing. This is not saved. Oh. Oh, hey, that did it. Okay. So I gotta go, but I will come right back and then edit this all together. See you in a bit.